I'm here with David Singletary. David, you did not win the governorship this time. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you learned?
I learned that it's hard to get into politics. That once you're in, it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
And therein lies the problem of this bipartisan, bipolar political environment that we find ourselves in this, not so much the state, but at the federal level. But at the same time, I learned that the federal politics dominate the state level. So it's hard to get in that you've got two major political parties represented in the country today, being the Democratic and the Republican regimes that dominate and dictate the political atmosphere. And as such, they have the big money. And in the political system, you have to pay to play, in other words, is what it's called. So what that means is that an incumbent has a 90% chance of being reelected. And it also means that the political candidate with the most money in their campaign coffers is more probability increases that they will win. So I was going against a career politician, Tate Reeves, who's been in office, political arena for 16 years. And I was going against Jim Hood, who's been in political office 16 years also. So I was going against two political incumbents to begin with. So they had the name recognition from being in office for 16 years. And then on top of that, I'm going against the two major national political parties in the country. So 8,700 votes. I was expecting more from cannabis-friendly advocates and advocates in the state, to say the least. But at the same time, my point was that anyone can get involved in politics if they got the want to or the desire to do so, which I have demonstrated on a shoestring budget, trying to educate and get the word out to people of Mississippi that they can get involved if they want to make a difference. Don't just sit back on the sidelines and talk about it. You can't complain about it unless you're willing to get involved. And I hope I showed everybody that they can get involved and raise the level of the conversation to move this state forward, because there's an inherent systematic problem in this state in that we always last or close to last, or within the bottom 10 states in the country is where we normally end up. And that's all ties back into here at the state capitol. And it all ties back into the good old boy political system that runs this country presently. And if you want to make a difference, you just got to get involved. That's what I can tell you. And we will. You give me 1,000 signatures, and I will put myself on the 2024 ballot if I'm pleasured enough to live that long, if God sees fit. So you're up against two major national political parties. They got a lot of money. But if you want to throw your hat in the ring and try to make a difference, you can. It is available. It's not impossible, but the odds are against you.
One of the takeaways I took from our visit here is so many people walked up and shook your hand and asked you to run again and knew who you were. That was kind of surprising. It seemed that, people didn't know you during the first campaign, and now that it's all said and done, oh, Dave, call me. Mm-hmm. So I found that quite interesting.
Now. And as Tate Reeves' term evolves and continues, it will be ever more prevalent and evident to individuals of the opportunity I'm offering them, which is just not more of the same. It is a distinct change in the direction and the policies of this state. And we're here to make a stand and make our voices heard. So I hope some people have gained some intelligence and informed themselves on the political process and the issues that are confronting the state of Mississippi.
Okay, well, I want you to look into the camera and say something to your supporters and the people that kind of follow you on Facebook and some of the social media. What do you got to tell them today, about today?
Today's process just shows you how uneducated and informed the state government and the federal government is on the cannabinoid system of the body and of this miracle plant that we're dealing with that has been demonized and made illegal for the past 80 years and put on Schedule 1 by our government. And I would just like to thank my Facebook followers and friends that voted for me and that followed me, and I hope that you gain some insight as to what we're up against and dealing with bringing a legalized recreational cannabis industry to the state and the benefits of so doing, and go ahead and solve this issue, take care of it, and let's move on down the road. We got a lot more pressing issues to address, but at the same time, a legalized cannabis industry in Mississippi will provide revenue and jobs and tourism, and we'll take a look at letting nonviolent offenders out of jail and reducing our prison costs and our health care costs, because it's one of the greatest medical discoveries of all time. And we're only practicing our stupidity if we continue to live in denial and cast a blind eye at the industry and the life-saving plan that God has given us and placed on this planet.
Okay.
So thank you all for your support, time, and vote. And let's keep the movement going and keep it going and build on the momentum.
Thank you, Mr. Singletary. Regina Brim, FroLiberty, and we're done.